Alright, what's up, Dragon Brew? Today we're going to be scamming opponents with elementals. And for those of you who don't know, when you hear the term scam that's used with a magic deck, it really refers to a style of deck that came out, was like a legacy, then modern type deck. But basically, it's whenever you have creatures enter the battlefield and then going away and coming right back, usually dying and then re-triggering to get some type of abilities. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's take a look at the deck. So we have two different types of effects here that are going to do that. First is Not Dead After All. Till end of turn, target creature you control, when it dies, returns the battlefield tapped under its owner's control and has a wicked token attached to it. Now, this is basically going to work with the elementals because they all just die and come right back. So all you gotta do is get to 3 mana and fire this off, and then you get a big creature for cheap. We do have some tragic trajectory because, again, some of our own creatures dying can trigger this, which is nice. Undying Malice works well here too. Kind of the same thing, but it comes back with the +1/+1 counter. So a little redundancy with Not Dead After All. We do have Springleaf Drum. Now, this is actually pretty big because if we play this on turn 1, we can then play one of our elementals on turn 2, tap the elemental to the Springleaf Drum, and then cast either Not Dead After All or Undying Malice. We do have a Bitter Triumph because we can get stuff into the graveyard as well, which works with Cavero, so we could copy some of these really big elementals. We do have Overlord of the Bellmark, which can put stuff in the yard or help us find our key cards. And then the cool part about playing elementals is they are all the spells that your deck wants to be playing anyway. So we have a full set of Wistfulness, a couple of copies of Emptiness, mostly because we can't use the white portion of this very well. However, we can use the black side for removal. We do have Deceit, which can also bounce something and strip something from our opponent's hand. And just to make things nice and easy, we have Sunderflock, so we can return everything and just attack with our big bodies. So yeah, this is going to be a wild ride. I don't know how well this is going to go, but it should be a fun set of games. So strap yourselves in. But before we get to do that, don't forget, if you're going to buy your Magic cards, go do so with Tales of Adventure. They're big supporters of the channel, and they support all the different big Magic events as well. But you can go to the website, it's toamagic.com. You can use my code DRAGON, that's DRAGN, because it will save you 5% on literally everything you buy on their website. But with that bit of business out of the way, let's go see how this scamming gets going. Okay, we got a Not Dead After All, so we can put this, yeah, let's keep this. We'll play the Multiversal Passage on black. And you're almost always going to want to choose black or blue, because you're either going to want to cast your black spells, obviously, or use it on blue for Cavero, potentially. We will put one of these on Elemental, and go ahead and cast our Overlord of the Bellmark, which seems pretty good. But we did not find a creature, so that's not good. Ugh. Another Overlord and Not Dead After All and Bitter Triumph. So not a great selection, if we're being honest. Man, alright, here's what we're going to do. Let's put this on Elemental as well. God, this is going to suck if we get another one. It's fine. It's fine. Let's go ahead and hit full control, because that's going to be important here. Yeah, we're just going to draw and discard. And the reason I do full control is just so when everything stacks, we have a chance to play the Not Dead After All. Just to make sure Arena just doesn't skip through things. And then we can turn it off once it resolves. You just do that shortcut by hitting the control key. Boy, what do we keep here? I guess we'll discard Deceit? Maybe? But there you go. We have a 3-mana Wistfulness, basically. Opponent's going to stock up. That makes sense. Now, we may have to put this on, I guess, Human? So that we can efficiently Cavero and do whatever we need to do after, I'm assuming, Day of Judgment shows up next turn. Okay, well, we don't have to now. Wow. I think we just attack. I don't think we really do anything here. Because they sweep the board or do whatever they're going to do to get rid of Wistfulness. We play Cavero to get whatever value from something in the yard. Ooh, Undying Malice. Well, that's a thing. So now we can kind of really be a nuisance. Huh. Wasn't expecting to find that. Alright, well, we're going to attack, regardless. I'm just going to go down to 6. I'm just thinking we could Undying Malice something again. I don't think it's worth it to do anything here. I mean, obviously, these make stuff uncountable. So I'm just going to put 1 on human and just save stuff for later. Like, opponent can go digging for cards or whatever they're going to do here. I don't think it matters much one way or the other. Yep, exile our graveyard makes sense. They might be trying to wait till they can get more value and get rid of our Overlord of the Bailmark as well, because they could chump block on this turn. Or at least they may feel they can chump block. We obviously have a tragic trajectory. They don't know that, but we're going to attempt it anyway. Since it's a sorcery, we kind of have to go for it. They might want to use a counter. If they do, then we'll go ahead and fire off Emptiness. They're going to 3 steps ahead and just counter their guy. Or copy it, I mean. Alright. So I see what they're doing here. That's not a bad play, because that gives them 8 life, which makes a lot of sense. So they lose 1. We're going to Emptiness anyway. Now, normally I would use an Undying Malice, but with the idea that they're probably going to try to sweep the board, I don't want to waste it. So they go to 1, and I would assume, even if they decide they want to use, like, Ultima here, we just save a creature and then... Oh, no, because that would end the turn, actually. Ultima would. So Ultima's one way this doesn't do anything. If it's any other sweeper, we're possibly okay. Meringue River Regent. Well, that does stop that. Wait, when this goes away, they take a point, right? You're only at 1. Oh, they have to bounce the token. That's so funny. So they don't die. That's hilarious. I love that for us. Let's go with Overlord, because we can just find a Deceit here. Okay, that works. And then we just bounce their permanent. Yep, that's going to do it. Yeah, I wasn't sure how this deck was going to perform against a true control deck. But I think in this case, there was more because we were able to scam something early. Made a big difference. I think if we didn't get an early elemental, I think that game would have went very differently. And we also had Overlord of the Bailmark, which was kind of looming there, kind of forcing the opponent's hand. So I like where that was going. That was pretty cool. Okay, I guess we keep this. I mean, we can Overlord and maybe find something. Alright. Problem here is we really need a land and not another creature. Oh no, when we flip 4 lands. Oh gosh. Well, that's probably the beginning of the end. Oh, I got a little lucky. You know what's funny? I've seen a few people mention playing with this card, and I'm going to be honest, y'all, I don't think this card's very good, especially in current standard. But some of y'all have gotten into the comments trying to be like, play this card. I'm like, even just testing around with it, I am not a fan. But to each their own. That's why we all build our own decks with our favorite cards. Do I return that or do I exile something from their hand? I think I'm going to go for something in hand. Because if there's like an Ouroboros or something, we'd rather get that. And we are on full control. Oh, target an opponent, so we can look at their hand. And then we will not dead after all. And then don't need full control anymore. There was indeed an Ouroboros. Let's take that. If they Badger Mole, they can Badger Mole into another, I mean, some combination of those. Yeah, it's fine. Still the right card to take. Now, here's the dirty part. Because we get to do that with our elementals, it makes Thunderflock super cheap. And then we just get to return all their creatures, and it's going to be a really gross game. Considering our hand needed a lot of luck when we started, here we are. Turn everything's not elemental. Set them back. Yep, that's going to do it. Yeah, and that was triply sick because we returned a forest because they turned the forest into a creature. So they were going to be even further behind next turn. Their best play was going to be to like play a Badger Mole into another dude. But by then, they're all having to start blocking because they're only at 14 and we're attacking for 11. So yeah, good stuff. That hand was a little sketchy, but as soon as we found the extra land, we were good to go. Okay, we're going to keep. Hope we find some of our scam-related cards. And I'll be honest, like, I'm generally not a fan of cards like, you know, Not Dead After All, stuff like that. Generally aren't cards I would play, but in this particular deck, I think they're the exact cards to play. Alright, let's see what we got. We did find one. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and discard Starting Town. We don't really need to take any damage. And we already have 2 lands that make blue and black, so that mostly solves whatever problems we would have. Okay, so let's put this bad boy on Elemental. I'm sure the opponent has some type of removal spell, but I'm going to start with Emptiness, setting that full control. Resolve that. Target one of the minors, even though they can bring those back, it's fine. And then I'm going to go with Undying Malice. Actually, I'm going to go Not Dead After All. Reason being, if I think they have at least one removal spell, I'll save the +1/+1 counter for the next one, basically. I mean, technically they're both +1/+1 counters, but when this dies, it also deals a point of damage. Oh, Corpses of the Lost. Cool. I know what we're going to get rid of. I know what we're going to get rid of. Let's go ahead and full control again, since we already have the Undying Malice. Oh, wait. Cancel that. I want to play green, so I have to play Secluded Courtyard first on Elemental. Now we want to do it. Almost messed that up. Resolve. Exile that nonsense. And then we will try to get a cheap Wistfulness as well. Alright. Feel free to resolve things. Okay, no attacks. If we get an untap land, we just get to hard cast a Baelmerk. That'd be awesome. I mean, they have a lot of cards. So unless they're just like Requiting Hex or something. Ooh. You're playing Enduring Courage. That's real nice in this deck. Kind of messed up. Really cool, though. Okay. Can't quite do what we want, but it's not the worst thing either. Let's... Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and Overlord first. With just black. Mostly because if we find another Wistfulness, we can exile the Enduring Courage. I think that's what we want to do. Or we could just find Thunderflock and that works too. And we found our Wistfulness though. I can Thunderflock for 3? I mean... Oh, actually, no, it's for 2. No, it's for 3. I'm going to Wistfulness here. I think that's one of the only ways we'd lose. So let's just make sure that doesn't happen. I mean, I think that's fine. If they get us at 11, they just get us. Like, I'm willing to accept my ridiculousness. Now, admittedly, I could have just got Sunderflock, and that would have been a real play. Oh, or we could just Sunderflock now, I guess. That also works. Sometimes the deck makes decisions for you. Go to our graveyard. We want to get Sunderflock. Just to make sure we don't die at anything silly. Alright. I'm assuming you have at least one removal spell. Yep. Or, well, that's a blocker. Not really a removal spell, but it gets the job done, I guess. Makes sense. Save one, so if you have some type of special outer, you can use it. Yeah, Corpse of the Lost probably not going to get there. I don't know, maybe. What's this other card? Oh, no. It's just that guy. Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't really help you. We get rid of a token, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't really matter. I guess we do have to be careful. We're at 9. Oh, one of those can't even block. What am I talking about? Alright, never mind. We just get rid of one of the ones that can block, and then that's it. Yep. And that'll do it. Yep. It's 8, and they're at 5. Awesome. Yeah, I have to admit, this deck doesn't feel like it should work. Feels very gimmicky. And we have gotten a little lucky so far, let's be honest. But the fact that it works at all is kind of amusing. Okay. We got Springleaf Drum. I would like to have one less Springleaf Drum in hand, but yeah, we'll keep it. Do we just take 2? I think so. And then next turn, we can have our pick of Elemental. Oh, we'll definitely want to get rid of that, because that's bad for us. Alright, so full control on, because we're going to have multiple things we have to do here. First, choose double black. Target the Dragon Sniper. And then tap for black mana with the emptiness. And then we will not dead after all on the emptiness. And then resolve everything. And it returns. Oh, and the opponent didn't even have anything here? Ooh, that's sick. Alright, go to attack. They were planning on leaning on that Dragon Sniper, I guess. Well then, let's full control again, since we have another not dead after all. Let's draw and discard, because we can get rid of some of these Springleaf Drums. Alright, tap for black again. Alright, opponent sees what's going on. Man, I don't know if this feels fun and interesting, at least. I don't know if I'd say super fun, but definitely super interesting. Let me know right now in the comments if y'all are enjoying this type of video, because our opponents are scooping early, but, like, can you blame them when we scam in 2 big, like, giant creatures? Like, this is turn, what, 3? And we're just like, all right, here's an emptiness, here's a wistfulness. Find a way to deal with it, I guess. And I'm getting 2 more cards in the process. Like, this is kind of silly. So I don't blame them. I probably would have conceded as well if I didn't have, like, a reasonable removal answer. But it's working, I guess. Okay. This is probably the first hand we've gotten where we're kind of on the defensive. But let's go ahead and keep it. We have a couple of removal spells, so we can get a little bit of time out of this. Let's put Tragic Trajectory. And then if a Badger Mole shows up, we have something for that. Okay. Didn't get to see a Badger Mole. I I guess the question is, how badly do we want to deal with the Badger Mole versus try to just set up a Springleaf Drum? But I don't think it really matters. I think we just go with black here and pass. Because next turn we can still drum, play Wistfulness, tap to drum. Oh, whoa, what's going on? Why did you do that, opponent? I don't understand what's happening. What? So this is a Bant deck. You played a Llanowar Elf and then nothing? Oh, you know what? There's probably like Angs and stuff in our future. Oh well, we gotta try. I mean, we know they have something. This is just like, if you do, you do. What are we gonna do about it? I mean, there's not much we can do. It's just like, this is a deck that we probably don't do well against, and this is our only threat right now. So, if there was going to be a problem, this is where we encounter it. Let's tap for black mana. Let's draw 2 first. Just so we have a little more information, just to know what we're working with here. I will discard a Springleaf Drum. This is not going to resolve, but we're going to try anyway. This is where they will counter if they have it. Or use a removal spell or something. So I can't imagine you kept a hand. I was going to say, there it is. It wouldn't have made sense otherwise. I was like, come on. You got to have something here. Which I'm actually kind of okay with that. Because it's not the worst thing. But if their hand is just all defense and 2 or 3 are counter type spells, we're not going to be able to win this. Oh, okay. They're selling out to get the attacks in. So their hand must not be great. Because that doesn't seem like the type of move you would make if it were. Okay. Let's go with this. Only Overlord, so we'll take the Wistfulness back. Seems reasonable. I guess we'll just play Overgrown Tomb. Go to 10. A little dangerous, but probably worth it. We can discard probably Multiversal Passage. The opponent knows we have something here, though, right? We're not going to just take damage and pass and not do anything. So, Sapling Nursery. Wait, but you know we just... Okay. So you know we have Wistfulness and you still want to do the thing. Interesting. Alright. I'm game. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we'll have 5 mana anyway for Wistfulness. So that's cool. So we can get both sides. And we definitely will discard a land. We don't need that. So that's fantastic. Let's play Wistfulness. And we will use all the colors. We are going to 7, but worth it. Discard a Watery Grave. We can't really afford to take too many more bits of damage here. Overlord of the Hauntwood, sure. Let's go ahead and just play full price for this bad boy. Can I black, black, blue, blue without a lot of damage? Looks like I can. Yeah. Well, the only permanent we want to return is that. Oh, you just have a bunch of Overlords? Alright, sure. That works too. Alright. I mean, we are only at 7. If they just start attacking with their land, we'd be in way more trouble. We're going to just full price Overlord of the Hauntwoods, right? Ooh. We got a Wistfulness and a Cavero. What's in our yard? Really nothing, just more Overlords. Alright, I guess I'll take Wistfulness then. That makes the most sense. How do we die? I guess they could draw... Yeah, I guess we go with Deceit. Because there is a world where they could draw a removal spell, attack with both their creatures, and then we would die if we only left one thing back. And that would be kind of bad. Now, I could have saved something there. But I think it's better to do this on defense. And now the opponent's just on blocking duty, because they're at 10. Yep, you got to do it. And then you'll just be blocking with both lands. And we're okay with that. I don't think we want to do anything here. Actually, you know what? Maybe we do. Let me think about this. If we play full price, what could we find? Yeah, let's just pay full. Because we can get blue, green. I'd have to take one. Yeah, that's fine. We're far enough ahead. I don't think it's worth worrying about. Whoa, why are we tapping anything, Arena? Stop. Why? I just want to take damage from my land. I understand the situation. Green. Oh, I don't have the ability to. Yeah, I do. I was like, what is it doing? And then I'll get blue and blue. All right. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. We don't have anything we want to exile. We just, yeah. Sorry, opponent. That one's on me. For my brain for a second short-circuited, and I was thinking this was a Deceit, but because I was like, oh, I need to be able to get a creature out of the way and then draw cards. But like those two things are on different cards. Obviously, I wouldn't be getting rid of any enchantment, so I'd just be drawing cards to see if we found something to get this out of the way. So just blue was good enough. I didn't have to pay green, blue. If I do that, I draw. If I find something to get this out of the way, we attack. They have to block with their land, and then we're going to win anyway. But we weren't really going to lose from this position. We attack, we get a creature back with Overlord of the Bellmark, which probably would have been Deceit, and we have another creature back if we need it. We were in good shape. Sorry I put the opponent through that, though. Okay, we'll keep this. This is basically close to our ideal hand. Can't complain too much. Go in starting town, into the Springleaf Drum. I don't know if we're going to get to do much with the Wistfulness, but I feel like this should be okay. So let's put this also on Elemental. Hit the full control, go to draw 2. Because we're obviously not going to want to exile the only artifact on the battlefield, which happens to be ours. Tap for black. And we will not dead after all on the Wistfulness. Alright. Got some lands. We might actually need the lands. I'm going to get rid of the Springleaf Drum. Usually one is all you need. There's a few rare instances where you may want a second, but you'd have to be pretty tight on mana for that to matter. Quantum Riddler. Sure. And Tyvar. Fantastic. Opponent's tapped out, and we have a Sunderflock incoming. And then we have access to a whole bunch of stuff after that. Yep. We're going to go ahead and play a good old Sunderflock. Now, admittedly, Leyline Weaver does block flyers. So opponent does have a few turns. And we actually, that's the thing about elementals too. You don't really mind if your opponent blocks stuff unless it's the turn they need to attack for lethal. We're kind of okay just going like, sure. Blocks, you know, bounce some things. All right. Probably going to... Man, I don't even know. I was just like, I thought I had a plan of what I was going to do. But, man, we're at 15. I think we just attack. You know what? Let's just do this. Put this on Elemental. And I'm just going to pay full price for one of these. Tapping our dude on the ground. Alright, we got another Sunderflock. That'll work. And then we'll get to reuse our Overlord of the Baelmerk. And they're not in a position where they can just, like, rhythm for Craterhoof or anything here. So we should be fine. I mean, right now, their best play is Quantum Riddler. Yeah. The thing is, yeah, they don't have anything after this. They're just dead, right? No, not quite, because we do have to bounce our Overlord, but close enough. Okay, we're going to keep and hope we find one of our scam cards, because this is not great otherwise. Now, there is a fun thing we can do. So with full control on, we can blue, so we can draw. We can resolve the first part, which is draw and discard. Okay, we didn't find one. But I was like, if we did, we would have had an opportunity there. I don't know if I want to discard a Cavaro or not. If we do we want to show the opponent that, basically. But I think it's the right thing to do, sadly. And we can't do anything else with the extra mana, so we just let it go. Next turn, we could do the same thing again. See what we find. If we don't find what we want, we could then play or tap for mana, play the other land, and use an Overlord. So that would be reasonable. Alright, well, definitely not what we wanted to see. Can't play that yet. Yeah, I guess this is where we're headed. I think we're just going to replay last turn effectively. Try the same strategy, see if we find the cards we're looking for. Sorry I'm a little slower with this one, y'all. There's a lot of decisions, little micro decisions we're making here throughout this game. Discarding one of these damage lands, probably. Tap for black. Resolve. Turn full control off. Let's play Gloomlake Verge. And I think I'm just going to go for Overlord of the Baelmerk. Oh boy. I guess we'll get Emptiness? Or Deceit works too, I guess when we're talking about tokens. But I'm going to take Wistfulness because I can get blue, black, play Deceit, and still get rid of stuff. And that's probably okay. Corpse is a loss. Tough. Is what it is. Oh, how close can we get to making that work? All right. View the battlefield real quick. I'm just trying to think, how do we die? Is the real question here. Like, should I be trying to get Wistfulness down for some number to exile the Corpses of the Lost? Or if I just... Yeah, the opponent has to have a removal spell here, right? So what if we... I'm probably overcomplicating this. I think we're going to lose this one. I think I'm playing this terribly, but we're going to follow this path for now. Let's get rid of that. Actually, yeah, let's get rid of that one. Tap for... Oh, no! It tapped the wrong land. I didn't want it to use the... Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Damn it. I needed it to leave the green, the multi-land up for green. I think I'm going to lose this one to Auto Tapper. That sucks. Yeah, now my whole strategy has to be different. Golly. Alright, well, kind of have to let it go now. That sucks. I think here I'm just going to discard Sunderflock and then copy it with Cavero. That's rough. Not optimal, obviously. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Discard a card, target this. Man, that's tough. That's tough. What a way to go. Yep. Someone be at 6. Yeah, it's rough. Alright. Cavero. Copy a Sunderflock. That's all we can do. Man, that just getting rid of that Corpses of the Lost would have been so good, and it would have saved us so much damage. I don't know if we can win now. It's very disappointing. I'm not going to say it's impossible. We can get lucky, but it's going to be rough. All right, that actually does us a favor, because now we could play Cavero. No, because we need to be able to get green. I may have to just do this straight up. Ew. Oh, but Cavero's only when you cast it, right? You may have Cavero. Oh, it enters as a copy. Hold on, what do we have? Would we have to Deceit? Oh, but we wouldn't get anything because we didn't pay the mana for it. Ugh. Not great. Do we have a real out here? I don't think so. Man, that one turn, that just changed everything. I'm just trying to think what we even do here. If I copy Deceit though, I could bounce, return a permanent, but we don't really want to return the shelter. That doesn't do anything. All right. Well, sadly, this is kind of all there is, I guess. Man, that hurts. Oh, I don't even have blue, blue, black, black, actually. Yeah, we can't do anything here. That's tough. Yeah, all right. I mean, this is a terrible play. I'm just giving up the game at this point. I'm accepting that it's over. We'll just copy this. It doesn't really matter. Yep. All right. GG's. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I don't think there's any play, because even if you just bounce the miner, it just comes back with haste. If I would have used this for just... Well, I didn't have green, so I would have had to do something else. I could have just drawn cards and see if something happened, but, like, that's not going to get us out of trouble. I could have paid 4 to kill the scavenger, and I could have got back just a 4/4 Cavero that's not really doing much. Probably the better play, but the fact the opponent can even just tutor now and get something, we're still dead regardless with just one blocker. So, like, yeah, that's one where really, that's my fault. I knew better. Anytime you're playing a deck like this with all those different colors, you really need to be paying attention how your stuff's being tapped. But I think if we'd have done that, so that we could have got that other green mana, got rid of the Corpse of the Lost, that buys you all the time in the world. So I do think this game was still winnable. Just one of those cases where a misclick cost the game, basically. Okay, so thoughts on this deck. First thing is this is nowhere near what I would recommend for a beginner. Like, there are so many ways you can mess this up, and misclicking is going to cost you stuff, and there's going to be all types of problems like that. So you have to be very careful about that. The other is there's a lot of decision making. Okay, am I trying to draw cards? Do I want to put stuff in the graveyard? Am I trying to copy something with Reanimate? If so, then I need to play my lands a certain way so that I can get the right colors to get the abilities that I want. Right? There's a lot of little micro decisions with this. Also, I would feel, and I'm going to have to play more games even after I'm done with this video with it to mess around a little bit, but I feel like any of the black heavy decks are going to be a bit of a problem, right? Because if they leave any amount of mana up and they can respond to you using any of your scam cards, then you're just going to lose your stuff 2-for-1, and then you're kind of fighting an uphill battle, right? That's always going to be an issue. Or if they have like a bunch of death touchers or something and you don't get the right removal. So there's going to be some of those scenarios that are just going to be hard to win. I was a little bit surprised we won the matchup against the control deck, but I guess it kind of makes sense since we can also effectively reanimate stuff and we have extra card drawing, and any of their removal that deals with small things won't actually do much here. So that helps in that situation. Overall, the deck was at least interesting and it was fun. I don't know. It's been sitting in my deck queue for a while, so I have no idea where this deck came from. And I'm sorry, I just don't remember. It's been there for a few weeks now. But this was at least playable. If you're into elementals and you want to try something different, this was solid. You know, I don't have any complaints about this deck at all. Like, now, it wasn't gangbusters, mind you, but I believe my final was like 8-3, I think was the final run. So no complaints about that at all. Very solid. At least 2 or 3 of those, though, we did get a little bit lucky. So keep that in mind. I don't know how those play out otherwise. But yeah, fun deck overall. Link will be over on Moxfield if you want to check it out. But yeah, that's all of you for now. We'll see you next time.